Welcome to the Corsair DreamHack Masters Overtime Show, brought to you exclusively on Caffeine. I'm Frankie Ward, and let's take a look at what's coming up on tonight's show. We are going to be taking a look at the group stages and taking a deep dive into some of the action starring Elige. Chad is going to be updating us on Vertigo and all the latest updates, and we're going to also look at the top 3 fails of the tournament, because I like to laugh at the expense of people who get paid a lot more than I do to play video games. So stick around, why wouldn't you? Joining me on the desk tonight, we have got Henry G and Sponge.
Couple of fast shooters.
I haven't really been practicing my pistols. You know, I know that we had a bit of a boot camp going on with that, but it hasn't really panned on out.
Well, we'll try our best, Frankie. That's all we can do.
Should we get you to maybe go and walk paces at the end of the show tonight?
I think at the end, if they've got any sort of prop
guns.
Well,
it's like open carry here.
Okay.
So, yeah, we could probably find a couple real guns. That wouldn't be too much of a problem.
I don't know if I should feel disappointed by this or just very content in the fact that I haven't seen anyone with an open carry so far in Dallas.
Well, we've been inside this venue for 95% of our stay. So that's probably why you haven't seen anybody with a gun just yet. But we can arrange it.
Good start to the show so far.
Really great start. Should we talk about the group stages then? I mean, the French domination phase looking like they're getting back to their best.
I would never use the word domination with French in Counter-Strike by any means. I think that G2 T-sides look average at best, and Vitality good. That's about all I got for the French.
I like Vitality right now. I'm actually a bit of a fan. I was hoping this team would show us a little bit more promise than what we've seen last year. They're actually looking like they're getting it all together right now, and they're going to be a dangerous team. Maybe even break the top 5 at the end of this year. I'm really impressed with what they're showing.
Do you think that Zywoo is just a hard carry, or actually the rest of the team can measure up?
We were at Beyond the Summit last week, and the big conversation point was that, yeah, sure, we always talk about Zywoo being the absolute carry, but RPK was stepping up. Apex was there. MBK wasn't calling anymore. They moved things over to Alex's responsibility. So that was cool.
Apart from on Inferno.
Apart from on Inferno. It's a good point. Good knowledge there, Frankie.
Thanks very much.
Well, show it off sometimes.
Nathan, he's still calling the CT side, but is it really calling if it's a CT side?
Indeed. Like, there's definitely influence he can have and make sure that the setup's the way he wants it to be. But yeah, the main calling is done on the T side. So it's great to see them bounce back.
Mr. Greer, just to back up your point there, checking out the stats database right now, Zywoo, highest rated player in the tournament, coming in number 2 is Apex.
That's not bad.
So if Apex is the 2nd highest rated player in the entire tournament, that's a testament a little bit.
That only bodes better for them, in fact. I want Zywoo at the top, but if his teammates can keep up with him, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Olaf is 3rd, you got Twist there in 4th, and then JKS, RIP Renegades, they're out, but he's coming at 5th. So Justin is still showing some fantastic form. The team, I think, a little bit clunky with Gratisfaction just coming back. I'm going to let him off the hook.
It was always going to be the case, though, right? When they're coming in, they've had Samuya at Pro League and at BTS as well. They got no practice in whatsoever with Gratisfaction coming in. So using the old strat book, you ideally want that to evolve as the tournament goes on. They just had to kind of clutch at straws and hope for the best. It's understandable they kind of dropped out here, but hopefully we see them come back. I'm such a big fan of what they're putting down right now.
And before we invite Elige to come and join us, I do want to cover FaZe.
All right.
Because, Neo, what are we thinking about how he slots into this team so far?
Frag-wise, like, if people just look at the statistics, then they're not actually looking at the way that FaZe have approached the game. I think, strategically speaking, they probably did more executes in that best of 3 than what we've seen out of them.
On Dust 2 especially, right? Which is a map they never, ever did that on, which is really cool to see. The fact he's kind of brought in some decent strategies on Nuke as well. They look very refined at this point. So, yeah, I agree with Chad. The problem I have with FaZe right now is I only see them getting to the same sort of peaks they did with Karrigan. I don't see them exceeding it. So top 3 definitely on the cards for them, but whether they can break into the top 2, I'm not so sure. I'd like to be proven wrong, for sure.
Whenever I think about FaZe, I just think about Guardian now.
Why is that?
I can't tell you.
Oh, something happened behind the scenes potentially?
I think it's just the way that Stunner says his name. He's a married man, his Guardian. Stunner, not so much. Now, I believe that we are ready to get a lead out.
We've got to make room for him too. Henry,
we have to make room for him. How can we not? Hello.
Hello,
we need some funky
you got this
entry
lovely
music.
handheld mic. And the cool thing is, because you don't have a headset on, you can wear a hat and not look silly.
That's a good point. You won't look silly at all.
Hats?
I'm not really too into hats, but
can we just try it on and see how you feel, and then
Henry will join
you can maybe take it off.
I look excellent in this, so I feel like it's even better. Oh, now I'm really feeling it.
Not too bad, you know.
Yeah, it's actually
you look like you're gonna call a rodeo. Do you want any nachos, any refreshments?
Would you call those nachos? I don't think you can call those nachos.
Don't they need cheese?
They're kind of just some lines. I've got some lines
out
for
the
you
bag,
that some might call cheesy.
chips on the table, I like what you've done there. It's a lovely spread.
I just slapped them down there.
There is some dip, though.
I'll eat one.
Have some dip. Get a good amount of dip.
Now, yeah, take some dip, take some chips, because I believe, Sponge, you've got a mini movie to play us.
Well, I'm
Release
just eating now.
Well, that's fine. We can just roll the video.
So we've got a round today. Round 28. DOS 2. You guys are stopping this long push. We can probably play it, and you can see what's going on. But I thought this was probably one of the most important rounds of that entire game. Scores 14-13. You guys using more Molotovs over towards long. You get this big kill right here. It's the rotate. They go straight into the B bomb site. You got Stu pushing T spawn. Now, when he's pushing here, he doesn't actually see anything. So you guys, I don't know if you remember this. There was a lot of rounds in that game. But what's the call at this point? Because as he pushes T spawn, he gets a good timing. He can spot the way down mid, but Phase already out.
Well,
it's hard to remember this. I'm sorry. I've done this.
It's a very specific round you brought into the table here.
I really
Not
have
much
messed
to go
this one up, haven't I?
Not the most exciting.
Well, really, we already knew that long was clear. I mean, their only options are really mid B, which was really unlucky, or they go off cat, because they're probably not going to go off long. We already stopped them. So Stu is just going to be flanking them, and we're just going to make sure they're not going to go A. So now they're splitting, and I think...
You retake this. You're on this. You get 2 massive kills, right? Rain's playing outside doors. I got it because Elish has some kills.
All right,
I
nice.
made it a little bit about
it's a
him,
relevant
right?
clip.
Yeah, so he's going to come in just in a second after the bomb goes down. You're going to get this trade frag right here. And this second one onto Neo. Now, I don't even know how Neo didn't react because you're moving to this position pretty slowly. You got to wear the freebie there. He should have been set up for that position.
He really should have been.
But what do you, in this game here, obviously this entire matchup, extremely tense game. What do you think the crunch moment on Dust 2 was?
Like just in general?
Yeah.
Like what made it go ours?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of noticed just like the majority of the strats that they were doing were just like mid-being, or they just like went out long with one guy, or they just straight up went out long, and they didn't really have that many cat executes. So all we had to do was just stop the early long, and then just put more pressure towards B. So like later in the half, I started tripling up B or getting boosted on CT just to stop that. And as soon as that happened, I think that we just started winning it all because they didn't have too many cat executes that they were doing.
What about Nuke? We got another one. This one's on Nuke. This is the first gun round. I'm not sure if you're one of the players who dies here, but it feels like they went for a couple of counters early. So Nico's going to push over this box, and Guardian just sits here with a flash out the entire time, right? I'm not sure if you're one of the 2 players here pushing up.
It's me.
But this would have tilted me pretty badly off the bat because they did this straight away, right? And then you guys felt like you had a different game plan on this Nuke game?
I mean, a lot of these rounds were rounds where you didn't even get a chance. Like, it's really frustrating on Nuke specifically because there's a lot of rounds and strats where it's just like you don't even get to shoot back. Like, what are you even supposed to do about that? Like, you just get pop flash and die.
Well, this is what you did, right? This was the last round, and obviously you remember this, but you guys adjusted to this. You dropped that molly on his position. We highlighted this on the broadcast, and then he gets taken down by Stu's nade. So you guys are obviously ready for this. It is only 3 rounds on the T side of Nuke. You guys obviously would have wanted more.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Nico likes playing pretty close outside, so we just wanted to make sure that we held for like 30 seconds to make sure that there's no aggression, and then we go into some type of strat afterwards. And as soon as we mollied him out, it was a pretty big kill for us.
What do you feel like about that FaZe team, though? Like, this is the first time you played them with Neo in the roster. Do you think it was like good sign? I know they took you close, and the answer would probably be yes, but did you actually feel like they were putting up a good fight?
Yeah, I thought that they were playing pretty good. There's not really too much that you can do when you first go into a new team, especially when you were taking over the reins as IGL.
Yeah.
So Neo's probably just trying to get whatever strats that they like to do, just getting to their strat book, and he's just going to be trying to incorporate as much as he can.
Do you feel like he's the solution to their issues right now? Do you feel like that's going to be a successful transfer for them?
I mean, it's hard to tell long term, but at least right now, I think that they're playing really good, and he's calling well, so.
Cool.
I should also just explain to the viewers at home that Coach Yanko from FaZe is stood over there, so if Elish says anything negative, he will come in here and probably beat him with that hat. So, while we have you, Elish, can we talk about this update to Vertigo? Because I know Sponge has been doing his homework. I don't know if you've seen it yet. You probably haven't had much time to play it.
You guys played a match on it already,
yeah.
Do you like it now with the change?
I think it's in like a good direction. Like, it makes it a little bit better for CTs. It's actually pretty tough for Ts now if you don't like smoke out the hole or anything like that. And the wider angles are also good for either. But I don't know, it's in the right direction, but I still think it just like looks weird, you know? It doesn't feel right. You don't like look at that and be like, yeah, just add a hole and it's fixed, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they thought that was the overall solution, right? Obviously, they take a lot of their data from matchmaking, so that might be playing in some issues.
There hasn't been many productive tweets about Vertigo, I'll say that much. It's been a lot of negativity. I agree, it's not in a perfect place, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad map right now. There's your boy, Nitro. That's a pretty inflammatory tweet, I like that. But But overall, I think it's got potential. It definitely needs a bit of work. But you remember maps like Overpass, they had 9 different iterations before where we got to today, right? Cobblestone, same story. It takes some time, but I think we'll get there.
Yeah, well, Henry and I geeked out on the map pretty hard for a while, right?
40 maps in 1 week.
We have like a little land bunker in Malta, which I think you're going to soon anyway. Not our land bunker, just Malta. But anyway. And we played like, I don't know, how many games did we play?
We were doing it 5 days straight, like averaging 10 maps a day.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but the thing is, for me, that map, right, I don't think that there's enough territory for the CTs to fight over. Because at the moment, you can't even fight for the A ramp control. Towards B, if you drop down, it's a gambit. It's all in, right? The timings on that position aren't really good for the CT.
I actually think that mid will be important. I think it's pretty easy for the Ts to take. The CTs can really only molly, but if the Ts just smoke it off, they have flashes going over. It gets pretty easy for the Ts to take all that territory. It's just before the whole change at A was just so easy. You might as well just go for like the smoke duels, get the easy plants, and you have good economy for the whole entire side. I think that B has a lot of potential, honestly. I think that they just need a couple more tweaks to make it a little bit better for the CTs, because I think the angles are really T-sided, and you can molly out like the back left box like super easy. You kill anyone that's going there, and then as soon as you just get flashes going, it's really hard for the CTs to stop.
Is that where you would draw your attention for changes? Like that would be the thing you change, or what would be the one thing you change?
Right now, I still think A is like super awful. I think that you should, instead of like there being like a bridge, I think that they should make it more like long Dust 2 or something like that, where they just like go for like from T-spawn and they just go like to the right around, just so it's not like as awkward. I feel like everything's so awkward, and when you're trying to rotate as a T, it's kind of hard to fake because the CTs can hear literally everything. You have to walk from one side of the map to the other. So I think it's kind of limiting some of the gameplay, and I think maybe when we see mid being used a little bit more, when people start exploring that a little bit more, it's going to be pretty cool to see some of the ways that people split.
Okay, I think we actually have the map, right?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at Vertigo before and after the changes. Thanks to our mate Rushley, actually. He's been doing some observing work
I got him in doing some weekend work.
Good to see him working.
He's loving that. But this will be like the old, we're starting with the old one first, right? And the changes are obviously only towards that A bomb site. So here you can see there's no hole. I think, like, for me, my biggest thing is if the CT can get to the top of that ramp and pick down into the forklift room, that, I think, is a fair fight. And then you can fight for control of that position, right? We're going to get the change. I like what they've done to the site. I feel like they can move it even further back. Because at the moment, the fights are happening so early in the rounds. You could be taking a duel for a bomb site, and it's like a minute 20 left on the clock.
I feel like the forklift needs to be removed as well. That position is just way too OP.
I think it's pretty OP.
Yeah, it's too much, right? If you're rotating on the flank, dropping down, not only are you dropping down already, but you've got to go against an absolutely crazy angle on top of the forklift. That's nuts.
In the beginning, when we were scrimming on it, we were like dominating everyone, and then we played against ATK, the South African team, and they were literally just going 5A, one on top of the box.
That's what we were doing.
No matter what, we couldn't do anything about this.
We just put Machine in that position every single round and said, look, you just need to hold here and kill people when they come in. You can't miss. It's the easiest kill you ever make.
But then he thought he'd spice it up and tried holding from different angles. He tried to spice it up, and that
really frustrated me.
Don't spice it up, man. Just go top of the box. No one can shoot back.
That's what I told him.
That's straight from Elite. We got to cut that and send that to Alex.
He got bored and said, I don't want to hold it. It's too easy. I said, what do you mean it's too easy? You get free kills.
I love those. I love those easy kills.
Exactly.
See here, over towards B, the angles below those stairs, right? That window position, if you're a CT, you can't pick. So I actually, like, with the guy who made Abby, I was working on some tweaks of the map, right? Just to float out there. And one of the things is if you put more props there, you can actually make it so that CT doesn't have to make as many fights. Like, that'd be a good change for that area, so it's actually more equal for the CT to go for, like, aggressive duels. I'll have to show you what I'm talking about. It's pretty obscure. But
it does work. I've seen it.
Henry's seen it in practice, all right?
It's pretty good. I like your access points.
Well, we're going to have to take your word for it, guys, because we need to let Elige go and get ready for his semi-finals, I think.
He's got a day off tomorrow.
Right now. Yeah, I know, but his scooters have got to be ridden.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to get some practice in. Exactly. Who's the best at the free scooters? And Team Liquid.
Honestly, it's all pretty scary watching anybody use the scooters right now.
Especially like your wrists are worth millions of dollars. Really, don't do a shroud on us. That's what I'm going to ask.
It might be a bit too soon, but I think the reason Renegades lost today is because Liaz had a bit of a nasty fall.
Did he really?
Off his arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more scooters.
Ban the scooters for more pro players.
So no scooters, maybe stick to computer games. Elige, thank you so much for joining us. We're about to humiliate one of your teammates because we're going to take a look at the top 3 fails. But Elige, we will see you in a couple of days, mate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Peace.
Oh, and
you can keep the hat if you want. Or you can give it to us. Look, we're not judgy here. Next. Okay, we'll get Yanko to wear the hat. I'm sure he's going to love that.
He's always thinking of his colleagues, this one. Let's take a look then at the top 3 fails. Any prizes for guessing?
I'm trying to think of things that happened. I can't really recall anything. There's definitely been a few blunders here and there, Chad.
There was lots of pistol wins. There was the round where Stewie Zeused.
That wasn't necessarily a fail. That was more success from Stewie.
Well,
really.
North kind of did fail because they blundered 2 eco rounds in that game and then ended up losing.
But
I
don't think that'll make it to this particular reel.
Okay.
There's been a few knife attempts.
A couple people have been knifed.
There's been JW in the vents dropping down with his knife out, running past a player, tried to stab him once and ran off. I think that makes it in.
Okay.
That's the only one I can think of.
Frankie, you got anything?
I'm just thinking
Are we buying time now,
I'm thinking of Naf. Yeah, I'm just thinking of Naf and
Stewie naded himself
down.
today. Stewie naded himself today at the double doors on B.
There's been a couple of craters as well, but they haven't been significant to lose a round. For it to be a real fail, it has to lose you the round, right?
Well, let's take a look at the first of our 3 fails of the evening.
Oh, it's 5 of them.
There's 5, but actually it's number 3.
Number 3? Okay, just
We're
mixing it all
having
up.
mercy on our players.
Oh.
This is a G2 versus NRG. Oh, no, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you had it the first time. You don't believe in yourself, Frankie.
Well, that's just a friendly little love tap.
Yeah, just kind of body checking him as he walks past. Like, don't ever get in my crosshair ever again. And this is what will happen.
Someone is a masochist on this desk.
Yeah. Well, did they win the round? The thing is, it's not a fail unless they lose the round, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. What if we go without context?
Exactly. So I guess a bit of a fail. It's not like he did anything wrong. He was firing through the smoke and someone ran in front of him. Whose fault is it? The guy pulling the trigger?
You blame Lucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Lucky in a number 3.
Well, in at number 2, we've got another overpass clip, and it is actually from day 1, I believe. This is North versus G2.
If it's... Yeah, well, like, I know what he's gone for there.
Yeah, it's not really a fail. Like, there's a guy in front of him. I don't know about you, Chad. I always tell my teammates, if you have to kill me to kill the other dude,
do it.
It's better than killing both of us. I don't mind it too much. I feel like I should have been part of this selection process because so far we've just seen team kills.
So maybe we need more like a jury next time.
Yeah, I feel so.
Are you volunteering for extra work, boys?
Nope.
I'm down for it. Like, fails are my specialty.
All right, well,
I watch a lot of them on YouTube.
I'm cool.
Like, I've got all of that covered.
There you go. It takes a failure to know a failure.
Exactly.
Wow, number 1 is definitely a fail, and it's from today. I hinted at it earlier.
You got it right. He made himself. So
nice. Chad got number 1. That's the most points.
About the only thing I could think of that went wrong today for Liquid.
Well, there you go. It's just going to be the nade. Does it bounce off the door, I suppose?
I think it does, yeah. It's hard to see in the smoke. This is what I would call a Frankie play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite... My most common play is when I throw a nade and it actually explodes in the air.
Okay, so
Like
that's better than that yourself,
it's like
to be honest.
fireworks.
Yeah, just showing off.
Yeah.
Well, Stewie did well there.
This is a lovely... I'm glad they got this close-up shot for this. Like, look how much I'm killing this look.
I think that has glitter on it as well.
Yeah, well, I requested glitter before the show. So
wonderful. I'm glad that they were able to get that to happen.
You're like the vampires from Twilight. You're a
I know.
Mr. Edward Cullen in a cowboy
I get called a
hat.
vampire quite a lot these days, so it's
I would
no
never
surprising.
call you anything that.
That's fine. I don't mind.
outrageous.
It's better than some of the other names I get given, you know?
Well, let's head to social media to check out what people have been saying about the
Horrible
group
things,
stages.
About Henry G.
Look,
What have they got for us?
if you do want to be featured on the
God, the
Time
Cowboys hat's going
Show,
over.
when we finish, maybe start tweeting about this hat, and you could be featured on the next edition of the
We'll give
Caffeine
away the
Time
hat,
Show.
yeah.
But let's take a look at what we've got for this episode. I'm actually not. I'm not sure myself. Oh, here we go.
What is this? More fails or what is it? No way.
This is where the Zeus round happens.
Oh, it bis. Yeah, this is awesome.
Maybe they've brought this up because, the fail here is the fact that Gade's gone up cat on his own against the USB.
That is exactly what I remember casting this. I can hear my dulcet tones in the background. That was the point. He got taken down. USP at range for 100 HP and taken down. So, we're looking at the social media
the
reaction.
reaction.
Instant classic. Oof, what a godly play. Next level, big brain. And what an amazing bait.
That's not what the Reddit comments look like when I'm reading them. So that's curious.
Pretty
I wonder
tame.
how they've. Yeah, they're normally a few more choice words in there.
They're kind of scared that Stewie's going to come after them with the humiliating Zeus plays.
I think
Maybe.
Yeah, Stewie's I was trying to think of a good term for Stewie, but he's a big teddy bear.
He's a big teddy bear who repeatedly hits the desk when he's upset, and I genuinely thought he was going to do damage to himself and the LAN earlier during their match.
You should have seen probably what Henry's and my bedrooms look like when we were playing Counter-Strike from home. It's probably much. I didn't mean.
I thought you played in
like
the
when we
basement.
were like teenagers.
Right. Okay,
Yeah, you know, like smashing actual things.
Oh
not
yeah,
just punching desks.
my parents' house, there's still a hole in the wall when I used to punch it. Like it used to be a perfect position. When they gonna die, just give it a quick jab. Let's little check to make sure it's not stepping out of line. You know.
I'm getting so much insight into how you smash things. I believe we've got more social media to look at. Here we go, G2. What do you think the boys are looking at from DH Masters and the shade and the burns?
I'm going to have glasses on. Oh, there we go. That helps.
Rolling.
Their T-side toe
That's
clean.
a good one.
Pretty good burn.
Yeah.
Like, it only got 2 likes. You'd like to see at least 100 on something like that.
Yeah, and that is from Lil Momo cosplayer Edward Dalgish.
That's a great
So
cosplay.
every bald person in the world
It's
is
just
doing
coming in as-
Jason
It's
cosplay.
no, look at the beard
Is it
and the
actually- is it
eyebrows
actually
and the
Jason? It actually does look like him, to be
expression.
fair. I can't work out if it is him.
Maybe it's his cousin or something.
Could be.
Yeah.
Just getting this stuck in, showing support, flaming people for Jason. It's
Well,
perfect.
someone who probably is quite good at flaming, in fact better than all of us, is our
Oh,
friend,
move aside.
Mr.
The big man's
YNK.
coming in.
Give him
Watch
a-
out.
He's
give him a round
coming,
of
he's robot
applause.
dancing in.
Bring him in.
Yanko, here,
Let's
this
go.
is your microphone.
Give him the mic and spit some fire.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it goes
You
on your
nailed it.
head, mate. It's a
Yeah.
hat.
We want you to give your best yeehaw.
Howdy.
Oh, that's nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Real gunslinger on the
That's
desk.
the best I can do.
Would you like to do some ASMR with the
What did you
chips?
say? What did you call this?
They're
ASMR, like
corn,
you
they're
eat
corn
it on
chips.
the...
Yeah,
know-
they're chips, right? These are not nachos.
No, exactly.
Like I saw you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
said this word for this thing.
Yeah,
No, I
they're,
agree.
they're
Like
not
in
them.
I
the
call it
US, if you're gonna call this nachos, it has. I'm not
need
saying it
cheese.
right.
Guys.
I'm not saying it right. I know I
Guys.
got an accent, right? It has to have cheese.
Yep.
It has to have like brisket, jalapenos,
Sour cream.
tomato,
All the toppings.
Yeah.
mango. I don't know.
Onions,
It has to have a lot
pineapple,
of stuff for it to
fish.
be nacho. This is just chips.
Chocolate.
Well,
everything.
guys, my show, I called them nachos. They're going to be bloomin' nachos. Right, Yanko, now you're here. We're going to use you for your insights, given that you're quite good at
Story
doing
of my
this
life.
job. So,
Back on the
predictions,
desk.
please.
Here he is.
You tried to get away.
Predictions, please, for the playoffs, the top 6. We're sorry to not see you there.
Are you going to beat G2?
But,
What do you mean? Sorry to not see you there. We're in the playoffs.
They
Oh,
in
you
the
are in the
quarterfinals.
playoffs.
Are you beating G2?
That's a good start, Frankie. Solid introduction to our guest. Sorry you're not going to be in the playoffs. But
So about that,
twist.
I'm gonna
Spoiler
stay
alert.
nice, okay?
You know how I
Astralis
did on my
number
show.
1.
Yeah.
Australia and what? Navi too, yeah.
Navi.
To
Yeah.
continue on that storyline,
Oh,
okay?
I'm just gonna start
Astralis
eating
number
now.
1. MIBR is gonna lose to them, like we always did, right?
I
The number
meant to
3
say the
spot,
semi-finals.
is gonna be Navi
Yep.
because with Boomich, that guy's
Yeah.
fucking nuts,
Who knows what's going to happen?
right? So number 4 place is gonna be. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be Team Liquid, right? It's
Okay.
the number 2, number 2,
It's a solid
right?
pick, yeah.
And then FaZe Clan, we're not even here,
Not
right?
even in the
I just
playoffs.
came here to chill with you guys, right?
Oh my
Like,
goodness. What have you done here, Frankie?
You know,
You've really taken everything off the
we're just
rails.
here, like, you know.
but legitimately
I miss my boys.
speaking.
I miss my boys. Oh, legitimately.
Legitimately speaking.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
obviously
Wait,
you're
you said
versing.
legitimately,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Here we go.
Here it is.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The first
the
game
top
is
6.
Furia, and they will be playing none other than, drumroll please,
Can we look at the bracket? Oh, we'll drum roll.
Vitality.
There we go. We're going to look at the bracket.
That's going to be an interesting one because I think Furia, obviously, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I've been watching all their games. Like, of course, like, but you can tell their results, right? They've been grinding the North American scene. They've been qualifying for a lot of events, right? That means they've been beating a lot of teams that have been in contention, teams like Cloud9, right? And you just know, right? Like, you already seen it happen before with LG.
Yeah, it's the
with,
same
with
thing.
the Brazilians,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know they have a lot of passion. You know they're gonna sit there, they're gonna grind it out, they're gonna give whatever it takes. So I'm really happy for them. I'm happy that they're showing that even now when it's super competitive in Counter-Strike, right? There's still a team that really wants it, can show it and come up with it. Vitality obviously coming from a win in Summit, like I saw the interview from Alex
Yeah.
saying that I don't think the other teams wanted it as much, like
Devaluing their
no,
own win,
I mean,
right?
it's true to an extent, right? Like, you know, a team like Liquid, right? They come to Summit and they're like, if you don't win this tournament,
We got
it doesn't
Dallas,
matter,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But they're trying to do some stuff. And whenever you're on the server, you're not coming in and saying, let's lose to this team, right? You might be wanting to try some things, but you're still there to win, right? So I don't want anyone taking away the win
From their victory, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vitality, right? And you could tell, of course, it's hard for them. They played a lot of games, and people can look at them. I think they're a team that likes being organized, right? So if you figure them out a little bit, it becomes
Key
harder
to
for them. They're
success,
not
yeah.
as good at improvising, maybe, I don't know. But I think that game is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Seeing it.
You-
Yeah.
Well, who's going to play Liquid, though? Give us a definitive winner. We got to do predictions
You mean
now.
who's going to win between Vitality and
yeah,
Fury?
yeah. because Liquid are winning the whole
That's
thing.
a hard one because off the top of my head I don't know the pool or anything.
But they could play Vertigo.
I just go with Furia because they're just on this roll, right? Like they've been winning so much lately, and for their standards, they've been having a lot of success. Just making like qualifiers, making it through the.
Making a name for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so for them, it's just like they're feeling so hype, and sometimes that's like what can give you the.
With your side of the bracket, there's no point asking about because obviously you think you're going to beat G2, which I hope you beat G2.
I think it's an objective response though. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
And then you would have to play ENT. So let's assume you beat G2 and you have to play ENT.
I mean, for us, that's really good, right? Because we lost to ENT before, and you know, you always wanna the team that beat you, you always wanna beat them, but. For us, it's just like, it's a process, right?
Yeah.
Like, we brought Neo in, obviously, and I think for us, it's been going great. Like, I think it's been a great fit so far. Obviously, it's a work in progress.
They look good.
Listen,
really
the guy
good.
is, let's take a moment here, right? We're talking about Neo.
Yeah.
Okay?
Greatest
like,
character
the guy is
of all time.
You know, it's like saying, like, how do you think Michael Jordan fits in your team?
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously, Neo is an amazing player individually, as well as an in-game leader. The one thing that is, I'm not going that we're struggling with a little bit is that he's always been talking in Polish, right? Like he's been in-game leading in Polish. Like he's not used to being in an. Like when you have time, as I know, it's always fine. But when you know you need to talk about things fast, that's when the issue comes in. And we have all the patience in the world with him. I think he's been doing a great job so far, individually as an in-game leader. So I think it's just about giving him more time to get used to the swing of things. That's it.
Fair enough.
I'm going to have to shove nachos in all of your mouths in a second because we unfortunately have to wrap things up.
That's what happens when you lose. Like, if I won, I would be here instead of Elige. I could get to talk however long I want to talk.
There's the rules, Jan.
But we lost. So I'll see you here.
We're going to see you in the final,
I'll see you here
right?
after the grand final show. Yeah.
We're going to do it on the big stage,
You're going to want me here, and you know I'm going to send you Guardian here. He's going to say 3 words, and that's going to be it. He's going to be out. And you're going to regret this.
Drop the mic,
so
bro.
remember this moment, Frankie.
Remember
this moment when you cut me off, when you thought I was talking too much.
I didn't think you were talking.
Remember this moment.
I didn't think you were talking too much.
Remember this moment.
Drop the mic.
I've got a bed down
Remember
here.
this moment.
You can serenade me to sleep with your predictions.
When our friendship ended, and that's it.
Oh, we're friends.
I'll see you after the grand final.
Oh my God.
Oh, you can invoice him for the microphone. He's got the money to back it up. Don't worry about it.
We're
Don't even
taking
worry
this
about it.
fight. We are taking this fight outside. No one does that on my show. Come on, boys. Back me up. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, Chad,
See you
go
later,
ahead, man.
everyone.
I'm good.